Welcome back to the Netherlands. We have about 23 or so years left to influence the world and the state of the Netherlands before basically time runs out and we have to conclude this. And I think I mentioned in the previous episode that I wasn't really sure in what direction to go and what was left to do with the Netherlands. But I think the only reasonable option, the only reasonable objective at this moment, considering I squandered the whole Belgium thing and we kind of locked out on most other things, is two things. First and foremost, to get to great power status somehow. I mean, look at these nations that are in the great power status. They're all massive. They're all incredibly massive with big populations that are accepted or primary, like for example Russia, they have millions of people. The Nubian Federation, millions of people. Germany, France, United Kingdom, United States of America and Japan all have millions of people that are either accepted or primary culture and can make a ton of factories, which is the main reason why they are so far ahead of us. Because in every single other field, we are on par, mostly. I mean, our military score, I feel, is unfairly calculated, I would say. We have one of the strongest navies that the world has ever seen. France barely has any navy. United Kingdom has 67 ships, which is pretty cool, sure, but we have 104, so suck it, United Kingdom. We are the greatest naval power on Earth. Italy has, what? 2 ships? I feel the AI is really bad at making ships, by the way. 24, 0, 83. So United States of America is probably the biggest threat, biggest naval threat that we could face. And Japan has only 34 ships. So our fleet here in the East India Sea is, I would say, probably equipped well enough to defeat Japan. And if we had any troubles, we could just call upon the second fleet, which is really should be renamed into the home fleet or something like that. Because it's not really the second fleet, it is the main primary fleet. What is happening? Oh, sure. Home fleet. There we go. Renamed and good. Home fleet and a first fleet, which is the colonial fleet. Sure, that could be the name of it. Oh, come on, what happened there? Oh, screw it. I'm just gonna remove it all. Must have hit some button that makes it go the other way around. There we go, colonial fleet. It will even be with 2 E's, only to be a bit special. 3 E's, I mean, 3 E's. 2 E's would be the correct spelling, but we don't do the correct here. We're the Netherlands, we do whatever we want. So, how will we achieve this? Well, we have one thing that we can do. Egypt, where the Egyptian desert has been released. And sure, it is mostly a wasteland, except that it has Fayoum, which has a sizable population. But other than that, it's not much to really look at. Like, Fayoum has 84,000 people. The whole entire thing has 93,000. And somehow Siva, with their 1,880 people and Bedouin populace, which, like, they have no Misri. Misri is the main population, yet Siva became the capital instead of Fayoum, for whatever reason. Sure, I won't question Egyptian logic on this one. They are protected by the United Kingdom. United Kingdom in turn are allied to a bunch of nations, which is the scariest thing about them, because you could call in Portugal, Spain, Italy, and stuff like that. So if we could get a war with United Kingdom that wouldn't involve their allies, perhaps we could win. However, I think we really do need to consider transferring over some colonial troops to the mainland over here, so we could have more men, because we only have basically 2 armies protecting the home front, and that is a bit too few. And we could only recruit a smattering of more troops. There are not too many. So we will do that to begin with. Here we go. We'll take these 2 armies. No, actually, we'll take this one, and then we'll be in Massawa waiting for a port, and the 3rd army, which will be picked up in Halab. And they are each about 10,000 men, so the main fleet will go and pick them up. This is so we have 4 armies in the mainland, so we don't incur the same thing happens that happened last time we were at war with France and whatnot, with too few people in Netherlands itself ending up destroying us. I like that Serbia is now more to the south than they are in our current times. They don't have Vojvodina, but they have Macedonia. I'm not sure if Bulgaria is very happy about the current distribution of the people. Like Eastern Rumelia should really go back to Romania or Bulgaria, otherwise it looks strange. Looks really strange otherwise. Some rebels are occurring, that's just things that end up happening at times. Our economy is, as usual, doing extremely brilliant, so yeah, I'm not worried about that part either. The only thing I don't like, maybe if we could get military access through Italy. Italy would probably not accept that due to our infamy, but even then, like we have amazing relations with Italy, but they still wouldn't allow us to go through. Okay. And the Congo, we cannot declare war on. I'm pretty sure that is, as I discovered before, that they are colonial provinces. All of their countries are colonial provinces, despite being an uncivilized nation. So I think we probably have to justify war for established protectorate if we want to take it. Which is a possibility, honestly. We could do that. Spain would not give us military access either. No one would really give us military access, which is unfortunate. Otherwise we could make some pretty cool armies happening across Dutch Africa, which is really strong. I'm quite happy with how Dutch Africa turned out to be. And now we have a new one here. Let's see, Dutch Timor. Won't really do much good, would it? We could go for Biafra and here intellectuals, sure. So we can get the population up, or intellectuals in the colonies as well, to spread education and everything like that. Polish nationalists occurring. Are we allied to Russia? Yes, we are. That explains why we can see them. Okay, one army over, we can go ahead and pick up the other one. And then we are done with that part. That's 60,000 more men defending the home provinces in case of a British incursion. Would be nice to have a war with Italy. They are allied with Germany though, so that's out of the question. We have a strong navy, we don't have a strong army. So we have to work to our advantage in this regard. We need to focus on being able to defeat a country through naval force primarily, which we can do against Britain, for example. Britain could be defeated through naval means. And we are expanding our naval bases so we can get even more ships than we currently are. So that will be nice when our total supply throughput is high. We are currently almost maxed out on ships. That's mostly due to the battleships being operational. But that in turn should be able, we should be able with the battleships to defeat the British Navy. Could we get any scout information on the British Navy? There's 67 ships, that is actually a fairly substantial force. I wonder what type of ships it is though. That is probably that's their entire navy. So here's what we could do against the British. We could get our colonial navy together with our main navy and then declare war on Britain and together just destroy this fleet, surround Britain with ships to blockade them and starve them out. And I think we should really go for some more naval things to encourage such an event. So that means that they have no ships anywhere else. I will thusly give order for the colonial fleet to go to Dogger Bank as well. And none of the other powers really have anything of worth. So uniting Congo and taking all the Congo could be a reasonable thing to do. But we still want to connect them up. The problem is, as usual, that is two regions, or if we could take Niger from France, which is not really possible. What we could potentially do against France, if they weren't allied to Russia and stuff like that, is we could blockade all of their coast. Since, sure, they could probably take over the lowlands, they could take over the home provinces, but we should be able to blockade them into submission. Because we still have the colonies, and the colonies we should definitely win in. We could then demand Niger, and that would then be that, as they say. Brazil, or no, the Nubian Federation offers us an alliance. They are actually our primary antagonists in in this drama, this Greek tragedy almost. They have a really strong... I do love their color. I miss playing as the Nubian Federation. Austria is always in an interesting position of things to do and to expand. Netherlands usually are too, but yeah, sometimes you just take a different route with nations and see how it goes. I mean, I have seen people play Netherlands and just taking Belgium immediately and go around the usual road, and that's fine. That's fine, but sometimes, only sometimes, you should do something a little bit different to see what happens. Even with this amount of... Actually, we have a great deal of craftsmen. We should really turn the Netherlands into pure craftsmen. There's everyone into the factories. Our factories could sustain it, definitely. Some of them are aching for people to work there. This sawmill is extremely popular. Everyone is just flocking to it. So the more people we can get that works in the factories, the better. So we will have an encouraged craftsman basically indefinitely. So one of these are reaching 30%. But even with that, we still have a bunch of farmers that we can convert into craftsmen. Modern naval doctrine. That could be pretty useful. See, now they have 66 ships. What happened to that other one? Oh, so they have split off one ship. That's not good. We want them all to be consolidated. All of them in the same place. Why are we having lower? No, give us back. We are lacking ammunition, apparently. That is causing a deficit. There's got to be a war going on. Which war? Doesn't seem to be any substantial war. Maybe it is just, in general, a big lack of ammunition. No, apparently that ammunition... It's strange. Sometimes the economy goes crazy, and you can see here that you would go 7,000 minus a day if you could actually get in those wares. Currently we're not getting enough ammunition as it is, but it's not as expensive. Anyway, so I think there's a lack in the world for ammunition. Let's take a look. Ammunition is over here. There we go. In high demand. Supply is only 631 and demand is incredibly much higher. So there's a market for ammunition. I like it. Maybe we should... Do we have any production of ammunition at all? We do. We do produce 2% of the world's ammunition. We really need more than that. We need to get perhaps another ammunition factory. Do we have one? At what level is it? There we go. It's a level 3. Fortunately, I can't change hiring priority. And people want to work in the sawmill due to it going very well. We also have another ammunition factory in the Dutch West Indies, but no one lives on the Dutch West Indies, so yeah, that's unfortunate. We could, however, this is what we could do. Oh, now there's a second Great War going on. This is good for us, I believe. This is good. This could leave the path open for a war for our side to take, for example, Niger. Definitely. This is a thing that could happen. Plus, it's a great war, so they will be utterly incapable of doing anything to withstand us. So we will go for a place in the sun against France. Hopefully it doesn't cost us too much infamy. We have lowered it now, so I would hate to go back up to max once more. Italy is destroying France in the south, while France is actually fighting back in Germany itself. Germany is fighting a two-front war and winning. Winning against Austria over here. I mean Russia. Austria is not doing anything, the Nubian Federation is just standing by. Is the war already over? That was a very, very quick war. Who won? Germany has accepted. Acquire Constantine, acquire North Central Sahara, cut France down to size, acquire Algiers, acquire French Sardinia and Corsica. 3 times Great War capitulation. Okay, so they give up Corsica. And they gave up North Central Sahara. Where is North Central Sahara? North Central... There. Oh, German Algeria suddenly showed up. And acquire Constantine, acquire Algiers. Oh, so German Algeria suddenly popped up into existence. That's interesting. But now France should be defanged. Definitely they are defanged. This is good for us. This means a war against France is a possibility. We can take Niger and connect our two realms together, which would make everything in our colonial forces so much easier, including building more armies, because I'm, for some reason, very, I wouldn't call it pedantic, but I do hate to not be able to, like, having to reorganize. I want everything to be the same, I want everything to be uniform in that regard. Perhaps that is a bit pedantic. I don't know. I just want to have my template, and I don't want to have to mess around with it all the time, which is why I dislike big destructive wars, because that means I have to reorganize things. And I'm not a fan. Okay, how do we have any sizable rebellions that could pop up? Dutch communists are actually fairly strong. What do people want? Unemployment subsidies. Unemployment subsidies is not that expensive. Compared to pensions, it's not that expensive at all. And that was a really great infamy. Sure, it's some infamy, but it's almost the lowest we could get. And now we have, we have aeronautics, which we could go for. We have reached 1915, electrical power generation, electric arc furnace. Factory throughput, this one is good, I want it. Alright. We should probably maybe speed up a little bit. We have these armies, they should be able to withstand the French forces, since the French forces are so small at the moment. This could also mean that we could, technically, probably take some of Belgium. The thing is that I am almost certain that we can take Flanders due to the capital being in Flanders. We could take Wallonia, but that's not actually what we want. We want the Flemish part, because that makes more sense in regards to our nation. Unfortunately, the infamy is a bit too high. Oh well, now we declare war, place in the sun. It was Niger, was it? Yeah, it's Niger that we want. Niger that we will take. There we go, Niger, declare war. France, we are at war with you. And Luxembourg is leading the war? No, it only looks that way. Fine. Well, then just march in and take it. They have no forces that could withstand us. They have everything occupied by French communists. Windward Coast, we could take these as well, which would connect us up with our original colony of Secondi. That could be a thing, but we don't want to take too much infamy. This will be a very cheap, inexpensive war for us. That wouldn't result in, well, it wouldn't result in much effort at all. We could send the colonial fleet to blockade the French, to kind of encourage them to surrender a bit earlier than perhaps they are inclined to otherwise. I wish there was a way to easily do this. But we can do it the hard way. Oh god, they seem to have battleships. I wonder how many battleships they have. And are they at war with anyone? No, they're just sending it out. But I think our battleships would be nicer than theirs. Definitely certain of it. And holy shit, we are apparently capable of a bunch more ships, so we will make some dreadnoughts. I want to have dreadnoughts, but they seem to be pretty expensive for what they are. No, I think I will have battleships instead. Just look at the dreadnoughts. Sure, the dreadnought is pretty cool. It has very high attack, but only 10 more attack than the battleship. And they have 12 more hull than the battleship. Sure, they have a bit better firing range, but with the materials that is needed for it, like for example, the canned food is doubled. The needed steamish things are quite expensive as well. So yeah, I think I will go with battleships. I will take 9. Thank you very much. And one more ship here, and then finally We can go to Côte d'Argent. France, are you willing to go for a peace offer? No. They are not. They will soon. Are these the French communists? They're marching on. Go, 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 French communists. Here's the French army. It's looking very sour. It knows it's about to lose. Do we have any sort of hostile occupation? No. I mean that great war. It's pretty good for us. Unfortunately, now we are the ones who are having to fight the French communists. They are trying to get to us. And they will be completely wiped out. We're doing what the French could not. Maintain colonies. Okay, France, are you willing to go for a peace now? No. Well, I mean, I can understand that. It's a loss of prestige and everything like that. I wouldn't go for a peace right now anyway either. So, soldiers in Philipsburg. How about we just don't care about the West Indies? Niger. They have colonial chaos. That is one thing you could call it. I bet all of their colonies have colonial chaos at this point. The Nubian Federation is calling us into a war against Italy. And I assume that that also means Germany. And they have Japan on their side. I mean, this is gonna cost us in relations and everything, but we're not gonna fall for the Nubian Federation. We'd much rather see the Nubian Federation fall. And Switzerland, you're just gonna break that alliance immediately, so stop even trying. Do I have communists again? They do seem to pop up every single time. Campaign for work, safety things, sure. Try to take them down and then go back up. France. Oh, the shadow of war. Alliance with Germany. Sure. I don't mind being allied to Germany, and they're calling us into the war against Japan and the Nubian Federation. I am willing to pursue this policy, and will immediately send. Actually, we will send a home fleet all the way to Japan to deal with Japan's fleet and everything like that. So now we're at war on Germany's side against the Nubian. Holy shit! I'm getting flashbacks. The reason I'm getting Oh, war is upon us. Oh no, this is not gonna be good. We get total war. Total war. The reason I'm getting flashbacks is that one of the first campaigns I played in Victoria 2, on YouTube that is, was as Austria, and it ended in flames when Germany occupied half the country. So I'm kind of getting PTSD from that. Not really. No, I wouldn't call it PTSD. No, that's lowering what PTSD actually means. It's more like, yeah, flashbacks. Sure, flashbacks you can call it. Alright, I think in 1916, September the 1st will be the place where we cut it off for now, and next time we will come back and fight against Japan and the Nubian Federation. Hopefully that means the Nubian Federation will be so pushed down the drain that we can finally take our place as the rightful great power that we are. Feel free to leave a like, a subscribe, a comment, whatever you want to do. Just do whatever the hell you feel like doing. And we'll see each other next time. Have a good one.